episode 297 of the Calcio, guys. We're approaching 300, and second week in a row, we get a new guest on for the first time, right from our backyard here in Montreal. Biagio from Biaziale. Hope I said that correctly. Biagio, how's it going?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing?
It's a long time coming, Biagio. It seems like it's been in the making for a while, and we've connected a bit more frequently over the last little bit now. And honestly, bro, thank you for coming on, taking the time, and we're pretty pumped for what's to come, and not only in this episode, but the Azzurri and all that. But yeah, man, just happy to have you on, man.
Thank you.
I'm Nicholas with Giano. No Gianni this week on the Calcio, guys. You could follow us on all your favorite podcasting platforms and social media at the Calcio, guys. Biagio, so we have a little tradition on this show that the first time we have someone on, we want to know how they got into Calcio, because at the end of the day, we're all here because we're passionate about Calcio. We were talking beforehand how, even though we all support different teams, we've all connected. Me, Adriano, and Gianni, we connect through the Italian national team that hopefully in 2 weeks, we're going to connect in a positive way with you as well. But yes. Tell us your story. What's your passion? What's your story? What drives you to cheer for Lazio and watch Calcio?
So for soccer in general, was my dad. I mean, I think same thing for Lazio. For me, in my opinion, I think that the way you support a team, I guess it's passed on from your family member, father, uncle, whatever, or it's whatever a local team. But I'm not really an MLS guy. Ever since they switched from Impact, I just stopped watching. I still call it Impact, but I think it was just more like a family thing. Growing up, like it's very cliche, but like Sunday sauce and Nana's house, and we're all watching the soccer game. Like I think we all in this Italian culture grew up with the same stuff. Definitely the odd one out because I think growing up I was the only one that go in for Lazio. Everyone was at Inter, Juve, Napoli, But it's cool. It's cool because then it's like you get to fight your own battles, supporting Lazio.
So I have a two-parter. Obviously, everybody that doesn't know you, you put out some great Lazio inspired content and all that. So I'll get to that in a bit. Just before that, I wanted to ask you, Biagio, being a Lazio fan, and I think you said off air since 2012, if that's correct.
Yeah, 2012. That's when I started.
When you started. Since from then till now, would you say is has been your best moment? I guess you can say as a Lazio fan, the things that stick out to you in your fandom for Lazio over these years.
Easily, like from 2016 to like 2021. Basically, the whole time Inzaghi was with us, I think he gave us like the best 5 years of my life as a Lazio fan, and specifically 2019, like. I stand by it to this day. If COVID never happened, I think we would have won that Scudetto. Like it's not an excuse. Obviously, everyone had to play a game every 3 days, but we didn't have the depth for that because we were like, it was like a Cinderella run.
Yeah.
One of the most proudest moments, especially now, like how bad we've been this season. Like I see young Lazio fans coming up in my live streams, and I'm like these kids don't know, like crying Ciro Immobile and all that, and Milinkovic-Savic. It hurts, Or like Kita Balde, I just put it on my story because he got like some card on FIFA and I stopped playing it. But I'm like, oh my God, I'm just remembering all those days. Or even like Lazio aside, when it was called SerieA team, like when there was like Hamzik and Nainggolan, and it was a goated era of SerieA. And obviously like these kids that are born in like 2015 that are like old enough now to like go on social media, they don't know about like the players we grew up watching. So for me, 2019, like pre-COVID, Lazio was like my favorite time to be alive.
And they don't know how it is to go to school in a snowstorm or an ice storm either.
Yeah, we were just talking about that. Yeah. These kids, they get a tweet a day in advance. I was sitting by the TV or the radio waiting for a snow day.
For context, for anyone listening outside of Montreal, there was this mass hysteria yesterday that we're going to have the biggest ice storms in, of the century here in Montreal. Everything is shut down. Work is shut down. Schools are closed a day in advance on today, Wednesday. Wake up. Where's the rain? It only started raining at what? Noon?
1:12.
Okay. Yeah,
it
it's bad out. It's bad out. There's freezing rain, but not the worst we've seen. We've seen worse a couple of years ago, if you guys remember. We all have power. That's the most important thing. So I guess the people calling this the biggest storm, but probably also called the Mattia Caldera the next best defender in Italian football. So can get it all right.
Yeah, exactly. And just to follow up on the question, Biagio, the content obviously is what I guess you're known for. The phones they're ringing off the hook for you. It seems like you're a popular guy.
It's like
all,
3 podcasts in 1 week. I was like,
all in a week's work. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but honestly, good for you. And I just wanted to ask, obviously that's how we kind of connected. Obviously, we are in the same backyard, but we connected over not only culture but obviously content and stuff like that. Just if you want to kind of explain how you got into it, what made you start, and where do you want this content to go?
Yeah, so I get that question a lot. It actually started pretty like it actually started at a pretty low time in my life.
Okay.
In terms of, because I was literally in university. I had no idea what I was doing, and I'm actually repeating exactly what I said yesterday. They asked me the same question, and
Okay.
basically I was always like I like to yap a lot, and everyone knew me as the Lazio guy. So I'm like, oh, maybe I'll post a couple TikToks about it. It was cool. And I remember the day I started, it was literally like I was on the phone with my friend, and I'm like, yo, like, I don't know, I'm gonna tell my parents I'm about to drop out of school. Like, I was literally like
Oh.
broke AF. I don't want to swear, but I was just about to drop out of uni. I had no idea what I was doing in my life. I just started posting between that, and finally was able to figure stuff out, and I was able to get, I guess, escape from the harsh reality of what it's like to be an adult with Lazio. And then it just took off from there to the point now, like, this is a bit different, but I also have like an alter ego. I'm also in like the food game. So that's how it started. And it's like 4 years now. And what I like about it the most is like I met guys like you, Bello Brini, the guys from New York. Like, I go to New York now. I know so many people there. And it's like I know people from a different country because of Calcio or social media. So what I like about it is there's no limit to what you can achieve with social media. So that's pretty much how I got into it. And I mean, now I still don't even know what I'm doing. That's what I said yesterday too. I'm still figuring it out, but I'm having a blast, like tonight.
It's good, man. It's good.
Awesome
Find a passion and
stick
make
with
your
it.
life out of it, right? Not everyone will follow the same path, whether that's university or trade school or this or that. Like, as long as you're happy and you do what you're doing, what you love,
that's what I
the most
realized.
important thing, right?
And it's cool, right? Because we say it all the time, right? To Biagio, I mean, we've been doing this podcast for a little bit now, and like Nick said to open the show, we're on episode 297, and it's not to brag or anything, but along that way, just the camaraderie of interacting with different people, with connecting with different people from not only locally, because you kind of start off of this, and maybe all your friends or your local people are kind of tune in or kind of interact with, but then it becomes more than that. And I think the greatest joy out of all of this, because social media is a powerful thing, but when you use it for the good rather than the bad, because we see all the negative online, but you can really connect, and that camaraderie of being able to call people more than just acquaintances but friends. It's a cool thing. So listen, man, keep it up, and it's cool to see your a little bit of a rise there, because your interactions and your videos are hilarious. So listen, we're behind you for sure, and then we also appreciate the support that you've given us. It means a lot as well.
And hey, you guys have every right to brag, by the way. 297 episodes. You have every right to do so. So
No, but yeah, what it is.
I know you guys are humble people.
Yeah.
Time to talk about some Lazio.
Unfortunately, yes.
One of the weirder seasons. Like if you pull up their schedule on Wikipedia, it has obviously green for the win, red for the loss, yellow for the draw, right? And it looks like as if they're making like a layered cake or a flag or something. Like zero consistency. Past few games in SerieA: win, loss, draw, win, draw, loss, win, draw, loss. And then the last time they had two games with the same result was back in December, 2 draws. So very inconsistent season. 2-1 win this past weekend against Sassuolo, a decent Sassuolo team. Maldini, Marusic with the goals. I don't know what did you make of the game, and not only that, what do you make of all this inconsistency this season?
The inconsistency, I have to say, was a shock to me. When I predicted the SerieA standings, I got a lot of heat for it because I'm like, yo, we got one competition a week, and we have Sarri, and the guy we finished second place with him in that season when we had one competition a week. So I'm like, is it that far fetched to say, especially with Inter, all these teams, finishing in the having all these competitions. And then like you could see to my right here, like this just goes to show it's like what happened.
Yeah.
And for me, it goes back to this. We've even when we were pushing for the Scudetto, like I said, 2019, it always comes back to Lotito. And for the people that don't know, the stadium's very empty because we're protesting against the Lotito. The guy likes money, and the only way you can really hurt him is not going to the games, and it sucks for the players because we feel for them. But I'm sorry, but this is ridiculous, and I also sympathize with Fiorentina fans. They must be furious because I'm sorry, teams like Lazio, Fiorentina, like we're historic teams, like one of the Seven Sisters,
Yep.
And the last time I saw Lazio dabbling in between 10 and 12th places, actually when I started supporting Lazio in 2012, we had such an irrelevant team. And I would argue, all respect to my team, but we have a pretty irrelevant, mediocre team on paper. And actually, I posed this question to the other guys, but I want you guys to guess who has the most goals and assists in the entire squad. It just sums up our season. If you guys could just give a quick guess.
I saw the answer, so I'm going to let Nick try to answer.
Nick, if you can guess the answer, I don't think you'll get it, but
no, I'm not.
Okay, yeah, but
is it Marusic?
No.
Okay,
give him the position group.
It's a midfielder. It's a defensive midfielder.
Defensive midfielder.
Yeah.
Italian
defensive midfielder.
Oh, Cataldi.
Yeah.
There it is,
So for the people that don't know, Danilo Cataldi is who's been at our club since he was like, no joke, I think 8 or 9 years old. Like he's been a Laziale. He's had loan stints at Fiorentina, Genoa, Benevento, all that stuff. Yeah. But this guy, like, I'm not saying he's bad. He's just like he's like a Gagliardini. You know what I mean? Like you put him in, he has passion. But guys, like him having the most goals and assists in the squad just goes to show that even when we win games, it's not like with Ciro Immobile. We don't really have a guy. I guess you could say it's Zaccagni, but he's been off too. So it's kind of like when we win, it's just because we're winning like as a group. We beat Sassuolo, but that was bad man marking from them. And Marusic, unlikely hero. I love that guy too. But it just goes to show like when you got that guy. Also, thank you to Millian it wasn't directly him, but Maldini, he proved me wrong. I think he's been outstanding. And for me, I think the reason why he's been good is because Sarri puts him. I thought he was going to be a winger because I know that's where he played in other teams. But Sarri literally made him the main guy. Like first game ever, I thought he was going to come off the bench. Sarri's like, no, okay, we're playing a 4-3-3. No more striker. You're going to be a false 9. And he lets him do whatever he wants. The guy will even drop so deep sometimes you'll receive the ball from a center back or one of our defensive midfielders. And I think a guy like Maldini, I think you just have to let him be creative. And, 3 goals and assists in like his first 7 games. I'm very happy with him.
Yeah, for me, it was a weird one to see him honestly make that move. It was kind of, for me, it came out of the blue. I don't know. Again, I don't follow, Lazio's Mercato
we don't really have one, but yeah.
Yeah, intensely, but for me it was a bit of a weird one. But again, another platform for him to perform on. And listen, if he's going to do well, it's all the power to him. But speaking about Mercato, obviously, like you said, there's not really much of one. Is this inconsistency and the way you said, we don't really have a solid squad on paper, like. Was the lack of the Mercato and not having one in the winter and having to really kind of scramble in the summer, not having one in the summer, kind of scrambling one in the winter. Is that where you kind of point your finger as to why this season is going the way it is, or is there something deeper than that?
Maybe part of it. I like when I predicted, I knew we didn't have a summer transfer window. That's because of the 90 million euro debt.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was really going to affect us. I know everyone else got stronger, but like I said, the one competition a week, Sadi, he thrives on that, and he can fully focus on the league. So, and keep in mind, we did technically upgrade because we called back Cataldi and Cancellieri from their loan spells. So I really thought it wouldn't affect us, but you see it. But I still have to say it's Lotito, lack of spending money. And I'm jealous of Milan because you guys have Militare, and that guy was the guy that scouted that golden generation of like mid to late 2010s, early 2020s, that Lazio team. The guy, he has a talent for this stuff. The problem is that our new sporting director, doesn't have that. He tried to have the same philosophy, which it's cool, right? When you sign a nobody, right? Because Milinkovic-Savic, when we got him, like he even came out and said it. A year before it, he was about to quit soccer and go play professional basketball. We signed literal nobodies. Luis Alberto was a nobody. Felipe Anderson was a gold medal winner when Neymar back in the Olympics. But it's cool to sign a nobody, make triple the money, right? But it's a gamble every time. And you start seeing it. We're getting all these guys that they're just irrelevant. And even when we signed Radkov from Salzburg, I'm like, okay, like I'm tired of signing nobodies. Can we sign someone that people know? Like I'm tired of taking a chance on these guys. So for me, you're right. The summer did hurt us, but it all comes down to the management. Like desperately, like a Chinese owner, just someone just come by our club and please and you need to spend money. I'm sorry, that's how it is.
What do you think about all the fans protesting and empty stadiums? It almost feels like it's the pandemic again with these empty stadiums. What's it like watching the games like that? And how about the effect it has on players?
Well, yeah, I definitely agree. It sounds like COVID. Like I can hear Sadi yelling on the touchline. That's how dead it's been.
Yeah.
I can see how it affects the players based on the poor results. So imagine going to play away. Obviously, the way it's you got the fans of your team on you, but then you come back home. Like we got fortunate for some reason. We played Atalanta, Sassuolo, and now we play Milan this weekend. We have 3 back-to-back home games, and it doesn't feel like it, right? It doesn't feel like it at all. But I don't think it's affecting the players that much. They're aware of why. They understand why it's like this.
Yeah.
And I love Sari. I'm surprised he's still with us. Like I told, if he would leave in the summer, I don't blame him. If Zakanya would leave, all these guys, like I was fully ready to be like, I'm scared to say it, but like if we're gonna be one of those, start having that dip in mid to low table, like I'm ready to ride it out. Lazio could go to Serie D and I would still watch them, but it's just like it's brutal to see how far we've come down, especially considering I think we have a couple decent players. Zakanye, Mario Hila, for me, I think he's like top five in the league, like defender. And he was one we took a chance on. He was literally like probably like a 9th choice center back at Real Madrid, made one appearance for them in the Coppa del Rey, and now he's a top defender. But like I said, like Milan, you guys go for, or Juve, you guys go for, and it's not even that you're spending more money than us, because you guys get them for good deals too. It's just, I don't know what this obsession is with signing like a random Serbian. Like, yeah, it's cool if he works out, but not everyone's a Kvaratskhelia. Like, let's be real. Like, it's not. You're rolling the dice. You're gambling every time. It's not good.
Yeah, I think this Moneyball tactic. I mean, for the books, obviously, it's nice, right?
Yes, obviously, but that's what Lotito cares about,
and that's what it is, right? And I agree. But as a fan, right, especially like across the pond, like us fans that are tuning in at whatever hours that these our teams play at, we don't want to see that. Like, we don't care about those things. We just want the result and to bring the player and to win. And listen, I agree with you, because I know Milan's not on the same level like you guys, but like,
no, you guys are way ahead, yeah,
way ahead. But just to say, like, that some Milan fans, like with this, like we always say, like the Moneyball effect. It's like, okay, our pockets are good. We're in the green, net positive, all that good stuff. But it's like, we need this player, we need that position, we need that, like, you know what I mean? And like as fans, we just want that to happen, and we don't see the day to day. But speaking about our teams, obviously Biagio, we do battle obviously on the weekend, right? Lazio and Milan. Both teams coming off wins, right? Milan in the derby against Inter, and you guys against Sassuolo I think it was Monday.
That was Monday game. Yeah.
Just maybe your thoughts on the game, because like I have my thoughts. I just want to hear yours first on the matchup. What do you expect, and how important are these 3 points for Lazio?
In terms of the league, like for me, SerieA, it's done. Like I think,
The wash.
yeah, it's over. Like
Okay.
you guys are gonna see in the title of this video, I think Coppa Italia, but just focus on Coppa Italia,
Yeah.
because mathematically, you take a look at it. All we got to do is win our next 2 games, and we not only have a trophy, first one since 2019, and we get a Europa League spot. And considering that this is statistically one of our worst finishes ever, to come away with a trophy in Europa League, I would take that 100%. So for me, yeah, it's just entertainment. I love doing my live stream, so that's why I do it. For this weekend, I think we're going to lose 3-1. I'm just going to come out and say it. I don't care that we're at home. I know some fans are apparently going to come back, but you guys are just too strong. We can't compete. But I will say that I warned the other Milan guys. My word of advice or tactics. Sorry, I don't know if my dog he's in the back. I don't know if you guys hear him, but my tactics for you guys, I would say, is we're like a pot of boiling water. It takes us a while. So if you guys can score early, you'll win the game. And that's what Atalanta failed to do in that Coppa Italia match. That's why it ended 2-2. Or else, I'm telling you now, if Zappacosta didn't hit the crossbar and the Krstovic goal stood, that game would have been done by halftime. The problem is they didn't take their chances. We decided to wake up and we punish you. That's how we've always been. And I don't trust Lazio to do well when we're trailing. When we're beating you guys, if we're ahead, forget it. I'm confident we'll beat you guys. If you take it first, we have no pushback. So for me, I just think Allegri, you guys are just so tactically well put together, and I praise them in the other podcast because like you guys have 2 losses all season, which is incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And to say that for me, I think you guys are the best team in the league because Inter, I don't think are that good. But I genuinely think you guys are shooting yourselves in the foot. You see all these draws you guys have. That's what's causing you to dip, because to have 2 losses in Serie A, you guys are phenomenal for me.
Yeah,
very
the nine draws is what's going to kill
Yeah, it
Milan.
adds up. 2 points.
I said it. We said it last season. Obviously, Nick knows it far too well with the Juve draws. It was like upwards of like what 13, 14 draws, or maybe more. I don't remember. Nick, what was it? Something up there, right?
With Juve?
Last year, it was crazy amount, like 12, 13, 14, whatever it was. It was like
that up.
It was in the teens. That's all I know, right? It was double digit draws. So, Milan's 9 draws is, and I said it a couple weeks ago too when we had an Inter guest on, a friend of ours, a friend of the show, Gianmarco.
Juve last year drew 16 games, Milan 9, Bologna also 14.
16. Okay, sorry, I was even off.
That's almost half.
Bro, that's literally almost half the season draws, bro.
Exactly, right? And that's what caught up to them, right? And I don't want to sound like the same way for Milan, but 9 draws is what's going to ultimately probably kill them from getting that second star and getting another Scudetto, right? And catching Inter on their heels. But because if you have 2 draws, and I think they have I saw somewhere, I didn't check before coming on, but I'm pretty sure they have the best defense in Serie A.
Yes.
20 goals conceded last year. All year we had, I think, 43 or 40 something conceded. So Allegri has really done his Allegri work, right, for this team. And listen, for Milan, like over the weekend, the derby was a huge match. Obviously, forget that it is a derby, but the Scudetto race, or it's back on, or is it off? Is it back on? Like that was up for grabs as well. And cutting the gap to 7, it's been done before. It's not over. It's been done before where, teams have come back. I think I listened to Del Piero talk, and, I forget what year it was, but, 9 points back, and they came out to come back to win the league. Obviously, I'm pretty sure that Juve team is probably better than this Milan side, but, nevertheless, I think, it's not completely over. I do think it's very far-fetched to see, Milan end up winning the championship, but it's 10 games for me. It's 10 finals, right? For Milan, and this is a must win. So, I mean, no disrespect to Lazio, but for Milan, they have to go out there and get 3 points. There's no other way about it. So, I don't care if it's a 1-0, if it's a 2-1, if it's whatever it is, 3-1. Like what I don't. For me, it doesn't matter. They need the 3 points. However, it's going to come. That's what I would predict. I would probably lean towards a 1-0 again, but
Yeah, probably gonna be lower scoring. I could see that too.
but again, if it goes the other way, like Milan's a team where it's a tale of two halves. It seems like, especially recently, right? They either start off strong or they come out in the second half or later on in the second half and kind of get a result or lose the match. Like it's one of those things. So for me, it has to be a 3 points for Milan, and it's one more check mark off to try and catch this Inter, who I believe plays Atalanta this weekend. So that's
Yeah, they're playing that,
right.
and they still have to play us. Like there's a
Yeah,
lot of chances for them to slip up. And I was saying that the weeks that's going to be important for you guys is, let's say you guys play first and you win, the
yeah,
pressure shifts over to them.
yeah.
So I think if you guys would have lost on Sunday, I think you could call it quits there.
Oh,
Like
it was over.
but
Milan fans are already calling it over now, before the
I
deadly.
don't think
So
7 points is that crazy to say. It's a 30 points, right? We say 30 points is left over.
yeah,
You guys have 7 to catch up to them.
Yeah.
Anything's possible. And I think
Yeah,
they still have to
for
play Juve too. No, they played Juve already.
No,
They
yeah.
still have to play Atalanta,
controversy.
Lazio, and all that. But anything can happen, and they still have Coppa Italia. So you guys just have SerieA to focus on. So
Yeah, it's 10 finals. Yeah, it's 10 finals from
and you
now
got
until the
nothing
end
to
of the
lose.
season. Exactly. So
No
listen,
one would put a gun to your head if you guys you weren't even choking nothing. It's Inter Scudetto to lose. If you guys don't get it, well, look, you guys locked up Champions League for next season, so that's a plus already.
Yeah, absolutely.
Biagio, so when you said before, SerieA is done for you. Does that mean even like finishing within a European spot? You don't see Lazio. It's done. Pretty much the only way to get into Europe next season is by winning the Coppa Italia. Then.
Like I don't even know what the gap is. I think we have like 37 points.
Yeah, exactly. Lazio 37, Juve's at 50.
Exactly. We're talking about a 13, 14 point gap, and that's just
left.
that's just to get into the conversation. We're like 14 points away to get into the conversation. So for me, it's like we're done. I'm not saying I made a joke after we won. I'm like, guys, we're gonna avoid relegation, because at one point before the game started, we were like 9 points above relegation. So Jesus. I was like, I was getting a bit scared.
Mathematically, still possible to be relegated.
Yes. No, 100%.
You need the max right now. It's the target's at 54 as it stands.
Okay,
minimum. So even Juve, only Napoli and the Milan teams have mathematically clinched SerieA next season.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there you go. So I guess no one's safe, really.
No one's safe.
Realistically, I don't think we're like that bad.
No, exactly.
But it's just like a personal hell for me, because if we were a relegation team, there's something to fight to stay up, and if we were a team pushing for Europe, when you're in that middle ground like a Fulham, it's kind of like it's like
you're in no man's land.
Yeah, it's like, are we good? Are we bad? So and that's why Coppa Italia for me is like the most important thing. Even though I think the odds are stacked against us, I would have liked to go to Bergamo with a victory, but now 2-2. Thankfully, there's no away goals, because already Atalanta would have 2 over us. So I don't know. They just got battered by Bayern, so hopefully their spirits are low by the time we play them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's one thing I wanted to ask about next was that Coppa Italia game. It was 2 weeks ago.
That was a crazy
last week. Last week, a lot of back and forth.
Literally,
Bashiru scored, and then 5 minutes later it was Pazolic, and then Diaz scored 87th minute, only to get tied up again 89th minute by Musa. And so 2-2, like you said. What were your thoughts on the game specifically, and also the fact that it's 6 weeks between these matches, which it's just insane. It's more than 6 weeks. March 4th, April 22nd, whatever that is.
I thought it was a typo when I Googled it.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it might even be 7 weeks. Like, I get it. I get it. There's, all these European games in between. Atalanta's still in it, this and that. I get it. It's just weird. And it's like this every year.
I think that's the biggest factor.
Big gap. Sorry?
I think that's the biggest factor. No, like Atalanta still being in Europe, right? I think that would probably be the biggest factor.
Like, there's European games, like, was it this week, next week after his international break? Come back from international break already. You got to.
There's that too. That just made me realize it makes sense. Okay, I'm calculating it in my head. it makes
I guess it
sense
makes sense,
why.
but as a fan, like you don't want it to be so
yeah.
far away.
It's basically the 2 available weeks in the season that are left
Yeah.
to play these games.
Well,
Anyways,
it's the World Cup too. You know,
Yeah.
it's because if you notice, you saw it with the Euro 2021. They're really cramming all these poor players. I don't know how to do
Condensing,
it.
yeah.
They
We've been
have
seeing
to
this since
cram
the
it all
pandemic.
because beginning of June, we don't have time for Champions League, Europa League. Like we have to start the World Cup, you know?
Yeah.
No,
And guys,
we've
fun
been seeing
fact,
this since the
I
pandemic.
scored at the 87th minute. I don't know if you guys see at the bottom of the screen. It was me that scored the goal at the 87th
Bia. That's a typo.
No,
No, busted. I'm
Yeah,
joking.
good
I'm
catch.
joking.
Producer.
No.
I was gonna ask, yeah, do you think the big gap will affect it at all?
I think it can work in our favor and Atalanta's favor because, March 4th to April 22nd. God, so much can change in that time. Atalanta are going to have players that are definitely going to get called up to the national team that could affect everybody. For us, I don't think there's anybody really that's going to get called up. Maybe Zaccagni, but I don't think he'll play. So for me, I was hoping Atalanta would do something against Bayern. So they would have an incentive to try, but for me, I don't even know, man. When someone asked me that in my live stream, I'm like, I don't even know what I'm gonna have for breakfast the next day. You're asking me April 22nd, what? Who knows what's gonna happen in April 22nd? Our Artie Provedel, he's out for the season, and he was our best player because for people that don't know, Provedel we're top 3 in clean sheets in the league, but yeah, we're 11th place. How does that make sense? I have no idea. So he's out for the season. Sassuolo, we put this guy we got from Reggiana. So he's never actually played a Serie A game before. So Sarri throws him in. He made a nice double save on Pasalic. He did his best. What am I saying? Kone or whoever it was that was in attack. I think it was Enzola. That's his name. But like the guy looked so scared, and I don't blame him. He's 21 years old. He's playing Serie B, Serie C, and now Sarri's like, yeah, well, because he got signed in January, and he's probably like, okay, I'm going to learn from Provedel, whatever. And now it's like, yeah, okay, well, now you're going to be our goalie for the rest of the season. He has no choice. So honestly, I really hope, but before Provedel got injured, I thought we could make the final, maybe win Coppa Italia, especially at the finals at the Stadio Olimpico all the time.
Yeah.
But now, oh my God, I don't know. Because Atalanta, I got to say, Bayern showed them levels, but we're talking Bayern Munich. But to highlight Atalanta, if you guys watch them play, they're just a joy to watch. The way they move the ball, like one of the goals that the crossbars that Pacosta hit, like their fullbacks, they're playing a 3-5-2, and their wing backs are connecting with each other. It's insane. It reminds me of when Lazio, the 2019 with Inzaghi. I love a 3-5-2 formation. If you can make it work, it's beautiful. It's the way they move the ball, and if you look at Atalanta's team on paper, they got like nobodies, and they're just ballers. Bernasconi, Zappacosta, Krstovic, their center back trio. It's phenomenal. So for me, and Carnesecchi, which I think at the end of the season, I think either Juve or Inter are going to go after him because this guy's like red hot right now. Fantastic keeper. But for me, I think I can't really say what's going to happen in April 22nd, but I will say that I think our odds have gone down drastically with the loss of Provedel, because if it goes to penalties, I have faith in him, but I don't know.
Yeah, he's young. It's hard to put all that pressure on.
Imagine you're 21 years old and you never played a Serie A game, and then Sarri's like, well, okay, let's go.
Because I think Lazio, they also got rid of the other keeper, right? Mandas, right? Was it?
Yeah, he's on loan at Bournemouth.
He's on loan, okay.
But he's actually I did some research. He's actually never played a game for them. So
wow, what a waste!
And I thought he would play over there, but he hasn't played.
I mean, not to be Monday morning quarterback, but does that bite you guys a bit in the ass? Because I think Mandas was, I think, a respectable keeper, right?
Not necessarily.
Or not really?
No, he was good. 100%. He's good. I don't think it's biting us because I'm kind of happy he's not doing well over there, because I would love to call him back because he was a fantastic keeper.
Yeah.
And when I was doing my research, I've realized he actually only ever played one game so far this season. It was with us when we knocked Milan. When you knocked you guys out of Coppa Italia, that was the only game he's ever played all season. And it sucks because he was good with Baroni, and he was a bit shaky with Sarri because obviously he was like 21 at the time.
Yeah.
So when Sarri came back, the time he was gone was Mandas was prime and Provedel was garbage. But he only knows Provedel when he coached him, and that was the year that Provedel won Keeper of the Season in 2023. So when he came back, he's like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to trust Provedel. And now Provedel, for some reason, he's a baller again. He's a fantastic keeper. But now he's out for the season. He hurt his shoulder. So he's going to be out for 3 to 4 months indefinitely. And who knows if he'll come back the same. So to shout out Eduardo Mota, 21 years old. This guy's younger than me. This guy's got balls, man.
Yeah,
I wish him the best of luck, as to get thrown into a SerieA match like that. It's definitely a wake up,
Yeah, for sure. If they listen, it's all to play for, right? For the result, and if they do pass, a final's a final, right? If they do pass, and again, we are playing the AFC here, but if Lazio do pass and they go on to play either Inter or Como, again, are your expectations still low, or are they like where would you see them? Because like you said, Biagio, this competition is I don't want to say the be all end all of the season, but like it's a launching pad for some sort of positive in a quote unquote negative season. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I definitely agree with you there, because if you think about it, in 5-6 years from now, we're not going to remember how. If we go on to win the Coppa Italia, let's say,
Yeah,
all it's going to say that year, we're not going to remember how bad they were. It's just going to say Lazio Coppa Italia champions, and that's all it is.
for sure.
So for me, and I got a lot of heat for this on my live stream. They asked me, would you rather face Inter or Como in the final? And no joke, I said I'd rather face Inter. Like, I don't know what it is. I think we could take them on. Like I said, they're still a fantastic team. I just think they're really overrated right now. Kivu doesn't really know what's going on. Como are this team. They're like this young stud, and it's like they have nothing to lose. I'm more scared of them, because when a team goes into a competition with nothing to lose, like look at Bodo Glimt in the Champions League. They're flying. It's because they have nothing. They got no pressure. Inter, if they somehow they got knocked out in the Champions League, if they somehow you guys start getting closer to them, they're going to start looking to Coppa Italia because they want to win some silverware. It's, they played for that draw. Like you saw, it was boring. And, what Nick said about how it's that big gap, that's another thing too. I think it affected the first legs, because I think both teams, when we scored and then Atalanta tied, I think we were both like, okay, you know what? Let's just play each other in a month from now, which it sucks, because the guys at CBS Sports, they spoke about it. And I wouldn't be opposed to abolishing two-leg semifinal, because I think the first leg, because already Coppa Italia, it's like depending on who you ask, people say it's not that important, right?
Okay.
So you put 2 legs. So some of these teams, they're like, whatever. Like Inter, you saw, they sat back, they rested a couple players. Acerbi was starting, and you saw they were like, you know what? Why do I have to try? In 4 weeks from now, we're going to play Como again at the San Siro. We'll just play them there, which I find it sucks. And to add furthermore to that, I think the whole structure of Coppa Italia is garbage. I think we should do like England, Germany, where every team from Serie A all the way to Serie D should start at the beginning. There should be no preceding. Mm-hmm. And whoever's lower ranked should be the home team. It's not fair that a Venezia has to travel to San Siro and play them. I don't think that's fair. And I think it would cause some upsets, because if you notice, it's like I saw stats like 5 years in a row Lazio make the quarterfinals. Well, yeah, because we always start in the round of 16.
They're already there.
It sucks, yeah. And I think we're the only country that only allows the first 2 divisions to play in the domestic cup. I think that's so ridiculous. You see beautiful stories like Wrexham, that other team, Lincoln City or whatever. They got knocked out by Arsenal on the weekend, but they made it all the way to play a Premier League team. Like, it would be so cool to see an amateur side face Milan, and a couple of years ago, Bayern Munich got knocked out by an amateur side because they had to travel to some village in Germany. That's what it's about. And you give these smaller teams a chance. I'm honestly tired. I'm tired of always making the semifinals, because I don't even feel like we deserved it. We only made the semifinals with Milan because, we both finished 5th and 6th. So that's why we get no, I think it's ridiculous. So for me, I rambled on a bit there. That's just a rant about how I think Coppa Italia, the structure they should just change that structure. I think it would be more entertaining for all of us, playing like, I don't know, like a going to play Novara away on a Tuesday night. I think that would be beautiful, but that's just my opinion on it. But to get back to the point, I like our odds. If we make the final, I'm telling you now, we could play Real Madrid. It's a one-off game.
It's
We're
a
at the
final.
Stadio Olimpico. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
You saw it last year. I thought you guys were going to win the Coppa Italia, and Bologna. They just props to them. Fantastic. So a final's a final. Anything can happen.
Totally agree.
Adrian, I don't know if you had any other Lazio questions, because I did want to talk about the Italian national team.
Just more like, obviously, like we kind of broke it down, what this season, what you kind of expected, what it is currently, what it could potentially end up being, with a potential Coppa Italia win, and some silverware and a Europa League spot. What's next basically for Lazio? Obviously, you want to improve, you want to get better, like with a mercato now, and who knows how much is going to be able to spend, in the summer, Biagio. What are the positions of need in your eyes if you're playing, career mode GM here, right? If you're picking, calling the shots, what needs to be addressed? This, because again, I know you said on paper it's nothing special, but like I do find Lazio have, decent players. Like, Mario Hila is a name that, like you said earlier, is underrated, and I think there's a lot of teams going after him. I know Milan's going after him. I would hope that they do sign him to shore up that defense that is only going to be better with extra depth. Obviously Zaccagni is Zaccagni. I think, love him or hate him, he is a Serie A top player. If it wasn't for him, we would be singing a different tune last in 2024, right? The summer, right? So
save space Paletti, fuck.
Yeah, for a short time, but still saved them. Just what's your what do you want to see next for Lazio, and where are the pieces that need to be added to kind of make this squad, I don't want to say relevant and be disrespectful, but relevant enough to be in Europe and to compete on multiple levels?
I take no offense to what you said. You put it spot on. We are practically irrelevant this season, and before I just explained that, to show how bad the dip has been 2 years ago, we beat Bayern Munich in the Champions League. We ended up losing the tie, but that was another one of my proudest moments as a Lazio fan, because to prove everybody wrong, and we were like the pinnacle of Serie A. Everyone was glazing us, because I know that year Inter got knocked out by Atletico. Juve didn't even make it, and whatever. So we had all the spotlight to, like, we can't even. We're 11th, but now 10th with the victory. So for me, to put into like NFL terms, first overall pick, I think we need like a complete overhaul. For me right now, the goal, I think, is Lotito has to leave. We need to find a way to get this guy out. He's a cancer to this team. He's hurting people that work all week to buy tickets to watch their team. You're hurting them. And what I don't understand is, we're not asking you for a player. Just leave. That's it. So get rid of him. That's number one. Get him out. Someone that wants to spend money. I don't care who it is. And personally, I think defensively, I know it's crazy to say because we've been bad, but the reason why I think we've been bad is because we don't score. Like, we literally are so bad in attack, and there's only so much a defense could do, because you can have a top defense and you still concede. It's only natural. So for me, it's the offense. Like last year, our top scorer was a 37-year-old Pedro. Like, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
Yeah.
When we were plagued with injuries with Zaccagni, there was a point last year. It's like every game, Baroni would just look and he's like, okay, well, let's throw Pedro in at striker. It's not normal. It's not normal that you're relying on this guy. The guy is, you look at him, there was a point where we were playing him 90 minutes a game. He was exhausted. Like, this guy's supposed to come on, deke a couple guys. He's supposed to be a super sub. This guy's not supposed to rely on us. I felt so bad for him. The poor guy, he's nearing the end of his career, star-studded career, won everything there has to win. We're treating him like we're relying on, telling him, like, yeah, you have to do something. We got guys that are in their prime, young and healthy, 27 years old. Why don't you tell those guys, let's go?
Wait.
Like, exactly. Offensively, horrible. We are just so bad. It's like we can't even create anything. It's not even that It's not even like a Milan where you guys have big chances and you miss. Like we can't even create nothing. It's so abysmal. The way it is, and it goes to show why Cataldi is our top scorer, because the guy he's doing everything. And we're talking about Danilo Cataldi, or a 32-year-old. Like he's just a guy. Like he's gonna be forgotten. He's nothing, and I love him to death.
He's injured now too. Is that right or no?
Yeah, he came off. That's another thing.
Yeah,
he
he's
came
injured.
off. He came off against Sassuolo. We have nobody. We had to put Patrick, who's a center back, and we played him at defensive midfield. But he actually did good. Yeah. But for me, I think midfield were good. We picked up Kenneth Taylor from Ajax. I think he's been absolutely fantastic. I love him. He's been good with Cataldi. And honestly, I know we're making jokes, but Cataldi, I think, is fantastic. Rovella, it's unfortunate. The guy, he's like
it's a shame. He's still injured. I forget him. What's his deal?
We started him against Atalanta. First start since like September of 2020 something.
Yeah.
And he came on, he gets subbed off, and now he's out again indefinitely. Terrible. Like the guy, it sucks too. And we spoke about it on the other one, the Milan pod, and they were saying, well, before we get into the Azzurri, they were saying like we would actually love to see Rovella in the Azzurri squad. They think he brings a good energy.
For sure, yeah.
And I think so too. But the guy is, I don't know I'm trying to think of what they would call a guy, like he's made out of glass or paper or whatever. Yeah. So besides him, we've been playing this Moroccan guy Belayan, who he's okay. Basic obviously had his rise and whatever, but now we've been sticking with Deli Bashiru. Obviously, when you saw it before on the screen, he was the one that got the goal. It's a bit weird for him because he's very more of an out and out 10, and Sadi's playing him as a box to box, so he's learning. So like I said, defensively, I think we're okay. I'm happy unless we get rid of Mario Gila. I think then we're cooked. Yeah. Goalkeeper wise, if like you said before about Mandas, if we call him back, or Provedel if he comes back injured, I think we're fine. For me, it's attack. We need a striker. I like Maldini. Don't get me wrong, but we need to get consistent wingers like Cancellieri.
You need a proper 9.
Yeah. Like we don't have any Immobile. Like we every team has that guy. Inter have Lautaro. He's the guy that he's gonna score or whatever. Even a guy like Berardi that Sassuolo have a guy, and I think Zaccagni is that too, but he's not a stat guy. Like I think Zaccagni affects the games, even Maldini, without scoring or assisting, which is cool. But I want a guy. For me, Cancellieri, I think I said he needs more time. I think I've given him too much. I think now at this point, for me, he's a bit of a diva, diving, this, that. He's aggressive, but even his accent too, way too inconsistent. You're talking about guys that, every once in a while, they're like, oh, yeah, he scored this screamer goal. Yeah, but you don't watch him every week. 99% of the time, that guy's missing it. And then he'll score a bar down goal against Napoli. But it's consistency. That's what it comes down to. And that's what separates us from you guys. You guys are consistent. I know Milan pod guys were telling me that full crew guy, or I don't remember who it is, but you have one striker goal all year, but yet you're still second place. It's thanks to guys like Estupiñán that came in any big moments. And big praise also, I was going to say, I mentioned before, Rabiot. And that's what I mean. That's what I mean by sign a guy that they know. Like, look at Allegri. The guy, he loved Rabiot back at Juve. So you know what he's going to do? He's going to go get him. Sarri wanted to do the same thing. Him and Loftus-Cheek, they have a very good relationship at Chelsea. Obviously, they won the Europa League together over there. But it comes down to, like I said before, it's Lotito, money. The guy does not want to. I would take Loftus-Cheek in a heartbeat. I would take any player that Sarri liked at Chelsea. Just let him do what he wants. The guy knows what he's doing. Yeah. Like you said about the money thing. Like, okay, yeah, it's cool. We're always net positive, but I'm sorry. If we're not getting the results, it actually affects your pockets too, because, when you get Europe, how much extra money you get just for advancing. Like,
of course,
I don't understand. But
even just like Conference League, even just winning Conference
exactly,
League, kind of
exactly. Just
you need to be in Europe. That's the bottom line.
That's Lazio for me. I'm sorry, I'm not saying we're Scudetto contenders by any means. If we do contend for the Scudetto in the future, that's like a defying the odds. Yeah. But I'm sorry, we are a team that we have to be fighting for Champions League every year. We have to be, Europa League, Conference League. So for me, it comes down to that overhaul wise. And hopefully, and I would sell a couple players, like I think Lotito, as much as I hate on him, selling Tati and Gendouzi for 60 million combined. I made a video on it. I'm like, this was a fleece. 60 million for these two guys that I love Gendouzi, but he's replaceable. I'm sorry to say it. Even Tati was horrible.
Castellanos, big time.
Yeah, way too inconsistent.
Yeah.
But we have so many guys you don't understand, like on the payroll, Belayan, Hisai is still on our roster. Get rid of these guys. So many, like, garbage. So many players collecting a paycheck. I said that about Basic, but now for some reason he decided to turn up. But that's what I would do. Like I said, Lotito number one, but offense, like our offense is abysmal. In January, actually, when there was literally like a 2-week window where we sold Tati, Noslin was injured, we didn't sign Maldini yet, and Dia was at AFCON with Senegal. We didn't even have a licensed striker on our roster. We were playing Pedro every week. I was like, this is
wow.
Like, how are you a professional football team and you can't figure this out? Like, how are you this understaffed? So for me, like I said, Lotito and offense is abysmal. So that's what I would do.
At least you have a country that's in the World Cup, right? Right, Biagio? Oh, wait, never mind. We still got to qualify for that. So, Jesus.
Canada.
Half. Are we allowed to support? Because we got ripped when we said.
Oh my God! That we're gonna get into that. This is the part I like more.
It's like you're going through all this as a Lazio fan. It's like, I know I complain as Juve fan. I know Idri, complains as a Milan fan. Gianni's pretty chill. Like he's not a big complainer on the podcast. Let's be real. He's a good
having a good season.
Bro, he has 2 teams to cheer for. Us, we're stuck with 1. So he has double the odds of doing something.
Yeah.
But no, joking aside, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, after all the, with the season that Lazio's had, it must be frustrating, especially, this is a team that hasn't won the Scudetto since, I always forget it, 99 or 2000?
Yeah.
2000. I wasn't even a thought.
You weren't even alive.
My parents didn't even get married yet. They weren't even. That
deal.
was nothing. That's how long ago it was.
Wow.
We're fast forwarding to today. Horrible. Yeah. Just my God, lots of fun. But hey, you know what? Social media wise, it's been very good for me because I get more views when people see me complain. They love to see me suffer. So.
Yo, negativity sells.
And I would say the same thing for Italy, by the way.
No, we did pretty well that summer of 21.
But no matter what it is, like when it's Azzurri time, the numbers go up regardless.
Yeah. And I mean, I think we're just gonna tell them, I guess, like for people that don't know or you're listening, we're gonna have I'm gonna have the Calcio guys over. We're gonna do a nice live stream, and like Adriano said, the numbers when it's the Azzurri, it's like a low key, like it sounds a bit bad, but I was kind of happy that we made the playoffs instead of automatic qualification because it's gonna be sick to suffer with you guys. Like if you guys weren't following my page before, we did a little watch party for just Estonia, and I thought it was a blast. I love chilling with you guys, and it was nice to, even though it was Estonia, it was nice to watch it with you guys and like suffer together,
Yeah.
So hopefully we don't suffer.
No, not this time. No, I think that I don't want.
Yeah. What do you expect for the game? What do you want to see from the Azzurri? Obviously, the win. The win's the most important thing. But I don't even in terms of like call ups and all that. Like there's rumors. There was rumors for Verratti until he got hurt. Jorginho now apparently too. Like there's so many possibilities. I don't know what do you expect to see in 2 weeks time?
Simply put, I don't even care if they have to call up like Zaza. I don't care who it is.
Nah, bro, don't say Zaza, bro. I know you were young, but
I saw someone mention Balotelli. Like what?
Yeah, I said that too on Twitter.
Yeah. No, but jokes aside, though, to be serious, like, and this is crazy because I'm a Lazio fan, but I would honestly call up Zaniolo. I think that guy's been fantastic this season, and I think you should reward like the other national teams. I feel like the problem with us is we rely on our old players. Why don't you reward the guys that are doing well? So guys like Zaniolo, and I mean, I it might be a bit of bias, but I wouldn't mind calling up Maldini. I think he's been good enough. But for me, I think the main guys we got to rely on, let's be real, Keane and Retegui, I think are let's be real, are probably our best guys. I think that's the best we can do in terms of call-ups. And I think we should utilize the 3-5-2 because there was times where he would play a 4-back. And for me, DiMarco, that guy is like, he's one of the best wing backs we know, like full backs in the league, but that guy cannot defend. Like he's a horrible in a 4-back. You got to play him in a 3-back formation. I think 3-5-2 suits us the best, or maybe a 3-4-2-1-2. I don't care that Barella has been horrible this season. It's Barella, Tonali, minimum. Like Tonali is probably our best player. Ability-wise, I think Tonali is like that guy.
Sure.
But just to simply put, just to cut this opinion short, I don't care who scores. I don't care who we call up. I won't be mad when they come out and we talk about it. As long as we go through, that's all I care about.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think we both agree on that. I know Johnny's not here tonight, but he would probably feel the same sentiments. The only thing that kind of pisses me off about, like, not pisses me off, but like I told Nick earlier and the guys, like Jorginho, really? Like Verratti, I didn't mind, but like Jorginho, like I don't know, like
we're down bad. That's what it is. We're down bad.
And it's sad, right? Because I said a couple weeks ago, like was it with Gianmarco, I think, when we had our Inter fan, you know. I don't want to see a Cherby back on the squad. I don't want to see these guys, these old guard. Like we said it back in, when did we say it, Nick? Like back in what, the Euro, like after the Euros or whatever. Like the old guard. Like we don't want to see the old guard anymore. Like, we have
them winning the Euros is the reason why they missed the World Cup in 2022.
Yeah, and then that's exactly. I wanted you to say that. Like I wanted you to say that because it's the truth, right? Like it's enough. Like, listen, I know it's a playoff. I know we just have to get into the tournament, and we all know Italy in a tournament is a different beast. So we just have to get
once
there.
Once we get in, we're good. I'm not worried. I'm worried about qualifiers.
Yeah,
once we and that's been I agree with you.
That's been our kryptonite, right? Like the last couple of tournaments, right? It's getting into the fucking thing. Like we need to get in there. Once we're in, it's a different story. Like we know what Italy is in the tournament. If we do good or we do bad, let's just get into the tournament. So on that aspect, Biagio, I do agree with you. However it comes, if it comes off a head, off a foot, off an ass, off a back, bro, I don't care.
I'll be celebrating Northern Ireland like it's France. I don't care at this point.
Exactly, right? So for that aspect, I totally agree. I just don't want to see this Gattuso panic, bring back some old guard for experience, but it's not going to serve us well, and we're going to be back in the same fucking predicament as we have been for the last two tournaments. That's the thing that kind of gets to me. Listen, do we need some experience on this team? Because we had Lucas Scott, last week from TSN 690, and he said it. Listen, like, who's the leader, right, on this squad? And again, I have to give it to him. Tonali, and I love Tonali. Don't get me wrong, as a Milanista, but I don't know. Like, we don't have that. And to use his words, the Bonucci's, the Chiellinis, the Florenzis, those types of players, right? And it shows, right? It shows with our squad that we might be, good. And from our point of view, we have good players, and I think we do have a good squad, but we're fragile when it matters most. So,
and our defense too.
And it's
we're supposed to be known for that Catenaccio, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and exactly. And now we're struggling to even qualify, bro, against fucking, if it be Sweden and North Macedonia, now it's Northern Ireland and potentially, what is it, Wales or Bosnia?
Wales,
I think, right?
Or Bosnia. That worries me more because there we're going to be playing away at home against Northern Ireland at San Siro. I think we're good.
I'm sorry, but that's bullshit. Like, Italy was ranked as the number one team in this little bracket.
Well, that's why we
have
got
to go away for a potential second match.
But why?
It was a draw. That's the thing.
It was a draw. Like, why? Like, I don't understand. They were the best ranked team.
I think it's
why
valid.
Are you making the best ranked team go away potentially? I'm more nervous.
Sorry. No, Nick, go ahead. You were saying?
Yeah, I'm more nervous for the second game if they get there. This game against Northern Ireland at home in Bergamo. If it was in Milan, I would have said.
Oh, okay, it's in Bergamo. I thought it was a San Siro. Okay.
No. If it's a San Siro, bro, it's a Scaronia there.
Yeah, it's true. It's bad luck. Yeah. Never mind.
I think they'll squeak away a win, like a nice 1-0, 2-0, 3-1 win, something like that.
Sure.
But for sure, the second game, especially if they have to play away in a hostile environment, let's say like Bosnia or Even Wales. I
Imagine
know
if we're
Wales
playing
is not the same
Cardiff.
Wales as
Cardiff
10
is
years
going to be
ago.
tough, man.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Look, this is a Welsh team that Canada beat in Cardiff.
That's true.
So
Yeah.
this is not the same Wales team from 10 years ago. But it's regardless who it is, whether it's Northern Ireland, Wales, or Bosnia or Herzegovina, it's going to be tough. Italy has to go out, play hard for 180 minutes. But what I'm worried, it's the mentality of these players. I think it's fragile. I think we've seen it in the qualifiers, whether it was the 2022 qualifiers or these ones. They're nervous when they have an opportunity to gain points. They lose them. These big matches, the games against Norway, the games against Switzerland from 2020, well, technically 2021. They're nervous, and it's almost as if it's in their head. But hopefully third time's a charm. And hopefully at this point, it's like they need to get in. They can't go 16 years without a World Cup.
Well, bro,
and it's not points too. I was gonna say one thing that maybe helps us a bit. There's no point. There's no like okay, if we have to score -2, let's check the standings. There's no standings.
Yeah, we have to score 9 goals.
Oh my god, that game! I guess
no aggregate.
Oh my god.
But no, you're right. It's win and go and continue. So that's the biggest thing. No, and I totally agree. And just back to the call-up thing and like the lineup and whatnot. Like I think we've said it in the past. Currently, like it's all to play for, even for these players trying to get onto the squad, because there's very few locks, in my opinion, in terms of the starting lineup. Besides Tonali, Donnarumma between the sticks, and they're probably going to say, Di Marco and the Bastoni and whatnot.
Calafiori.
Yeah, Calafiori too, right? Like there's very, very few locks, I find in this squad, and there's positions to be had. And listen, I said earlier, I don't want to see the panic button. Oh, we have to call up, old players to help us qualify. Yeah. Like I still want to see Gattuso make the right decisions and bring guys like you said earlier, both of you, players that merit, being there, right? Like why not bring
right now? We need to
why not bring
all the guys that are on fire?
Exactly. And I remember Nick vividly saying this in 2020 for the Euro in 2021, forget the name, bring the guy who's hot at the moment. You saw Berardi was hot. You saw Locatelli was hot. What happened in those opening games? They produced for Italy. Was it a short run? Sure, but they produced for their time.
Yeah,
for the national
team. That's all you need.
Exactly.
And that's all you need. That's my point.
Like, who cares if Berardi's not, a legend of the game? He produced at the Euros.
At that time.
He was hot at the time. Yeah. Even if you look back at some of those names, even like a guy like Acerbi, he's not going to go down as one of the best defenders in Italian football, but he was playing really well at that time, and he was kind of having a second resurgence in his career. And he goes on. Okay, I understood. He didn't start every game. He didn't have the same impact that Chiellini and Bonucci had, but he served a purpose.
He did.
And even heck, you want to go back to 06, throw in Fabio Grosso's name. Bro, this guy did nothing outside of the World Cup. He got hot for 2 games. That's all we needed.
And we still celebrate it today.
Right now.
So that's it, right?
And all that matters is the start. We got to start because of that.
Yeah, exactly. And we still talk about it today, right? So listen, I hope he makes the right calls. Like I want to see the guys that deserve to be there. And I know Spalletti had said it when he was coach, merit-based call-ups. He didn't really abide by that, and obviously he lost the job out of it. Gattuso, I love him to death. Being a Milan fan, obviously. I hope he does make those right calls. And listen, because I don't see why don't you call up Marco Palestra, right? The guy is fucking doing amazing now, right? Like we need that youth and depth, and creative spark on the wing back position. Besides a guy like Di Marco, right? So even a Coyote, he plays abroad. Calafiori, like you mentioned, Biagio, who's doing well. I think he got a bit of a knock, but I heard he might be all right. So
that's another thing too. It's the injury thing,
Yeah. So listen, by the time this airs, we'll be 2 weeks away, right? Officially from that match, March 26th against Northern Ireland in Bergamo. So we're obviously pumped. I don't know how it's gonna.
Nervous, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, me too a bit.
Because you said
I'm nervous, excited, but
a rush of like anxiety. Oh my god.
Well, Biagio, I remember when we had the watch party at Panino Pazzo right back in, when was that? That was in
No,
October,
October?
It was
November.
October 13th. It was like the
Or
Thanksgiving weekend. I remember.
yeah, okay, there we
That's
go.
it.
It was October, and we're like, okay, yeah, we'll see each other in March. But now, bro,
And we're here.
March is here now, and now it's like time. So
It
like,
sounds so far away, and now I'm like, okay, yeah, ciao, guys. And then,
yeah,
and I'm like, oh my god, like we're
2
actually
weeks.
gonna, yeah, it's gonna be a
Gonna get
blast on the
fast.
stream. It always is, but I just realized, like, since I've started social media, I've never. When I started, it was late 2022, so it was actually after we failed against North Macedonia. So I've actually never had like a, I guess you could say, like a big hot stream in a very intense way for Italy. People, you're not gonna understand. The people
Bro,
that see my streams, it's gonna be crazy.
the last time Italy was in a World Cup, I was just finishing up high school, and I'm gonna be 30 this year,
Man,
and I'm
I was
bald.
4 years. I was 4 years old.
No, I'm
Guys, it
saying
was
last time
20
they were in a World
years.
Cup.
20
Oh
years. It's
wait, that
been
was what
2 decades.
2014? No,
So
2014.
I'm talking about last time
Oh,
they were in a World Cup.
oh, sorry,
I'm
Ian. I
not
thought
that,
you
I'm
meant I was.
not that old that I was in high school in
Okay.
'06.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was
Johnny
graduating at
was.
elementary school. Sorry.
Yeah. And we watched that game together at Idri.
Oh my God.
I don't know if you remember,
It was the
but
Costa
That
Rica
that
game we
was
got
that
knocked.
the
Oh no,
what game was that?
the
That was
Uruguay
the
game.
it was
Suarez
Costa
bite.
the
Rica.
Suarez bite, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Suarez bite. Yeah. We're in your basement. Bro.
Yeah. With the neighborhood friends.
Oh my God,
Oh my god.
pizza, bro,
We
like the whole
had
nine
pizza.
yards.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bro,
See, this
like,
is what we need. We need Italy back in a World Cup. I know
well,
they've won
because
the Euro since, but
2021, Biagio, again, I know it's a Euro, and I know I don't know, we didn't really know each other at that point.
No, I wasn't
Maybe
even on
we
social
ran
media.
into you in one of these
Yeah, maybe, but I
crazy
wasn't on social
events.
media. I was just kind of like, was like 19 years old, just
Yeah,
messing
you're
around. It
just
was
a
the
person.
craziest. Yeah, it was the craziest thing though.
it
Like,
was.
and imagine, and I thought the celebrations we should have done more. I felt like I could have gone later. I was like smashed, hammered, and then I went to go play a Toro Campo game at night. But I felt like, because it's not a World Cup, I feel like the celebrations are going to be higher.
Yeah,
But
that's what
we're
I told the
thinking
guys
maybe,
right after. It's like almost as something's missing. Like we just need the World Cup again.
yeah,
No, the
But
World
it's
Cup
not.
the World
It's not
Cup's the
the
World
same
Cup.
without us. It's not the same. And
World Cup.
the-
It's I know it's maybe a false equivalency, but World Cup, it's like winning the Champions League. Euros, it's like winning either this. You could say it's like winning the Serie A. Or
yeah, but
I wouldn't say Coppa Italia.
no,
No,
but
It's
no,
a
no.
higher level than
The
Serie
World
A,
Cup,
but it's
It's
not
the
the same as like
pinnacle.
a Champions League.
the
Let's say.
World Cup trumps it all, bro.
Yeah.
It's the biggest sporting event in the world. The
Yeah.
most eyes, the thing that everybody wakes up for.
Every four
Casual,
years.
hardcore, casual, doesn't matter. They wake up for it. It's the biggest game. And listen, a tournament without Italy is, for us,
Yeah.
it's not a tournament, right? Because we support the Azzurri through and through. But yeah, I just want to make it because 2021, bro. Like we look back at some of those memories, and like I know it was a Euro, but like I
I
hate
was
to
so
always go.
happy.
I hate to go back and like always go back to the past and past and past, but like those times, not only for the pod or just for the content or just to celebrate as friends, right? And like with complete strangers, if it be at Chicharo's or if it be
Yeah.
honking the horn in RDP, right? I'm Maurice
Maurice
Duplessis,
Duplessis.
right? So
That
like,
corner, I was
yo,
hugging random guys I didn't
I
even know,
know,
sweating
yo,
and
me and
jumping on
John.
each other.
I wish Johnny was here tonight because me and him went after the Spain game because Nick couldn't make it. Right?
Belgium,
Nick,
Belgium or Spain? No,
I think it was the
probably
Spain
because I
game.
was
I think it was,
working.
yeah, Nick couldn't make it. So me and Johnny were at Chicharo's, and anybody who was a listener back then knows, like, it was just a crazy time. After there, we went to RDP, we went to go honk the horn in Johnny's vehicle, and bro, our car got fucking mobbed, bro. Like, you were probably one of the kids on the
Yeah, I
fucking
know.
car. Like,
It was absolutely crazy.
it was a movie.
Yeah.
And that's what people fail to see.
Biagio, absolute pleasure having you on, my man. We're
Yes.
gonna talk in 2 weeks. We could probably talk so much more in
2 weeks,
in 2
guys.
weeks.
Get ready. It's gonna
Yeah,
be a sick live stream.
yeah, we'll have to talk more about the details for that. But
Absolutely.
where can people find you and your content on social media?
Yeah, so you could check me out at Biaziale _ on all social media platforms, and my personal page if you want to see, I guess, like a non-soccer side, at the real Bia, spelled REEL. So that's where I have like a bit more of I like to separate myself, not always soccer, but yeah, you could check me out there.
Yeah, and I see on your socials you touch more than just that, right? Obviously, your Lazio fan club page as well. I know it gets a
Yeah,
lot of
there's
hits as well, right?
yeah. I started the Lazio fan club with my buddy Peter, and then with the guy that was used to be on this page, Matteo. We did the little Azzurri Montreal thing, just to have a page because there's not really technically a page for Italy games.
I know we've collabed with
But
that. Also, you know
yeah,
what? I think we should probably bring that up a bit more
well,
going
we're gonna do
forward.
Copos, guys. You guys are gonna
Yeah,
see us together all the time now.
yeah.
Hopefully, we qualify, so we're gonna see each other on the Thursday and the Tuesday. I already told my boss I'm taking off those days. Don't call me. I don't care what happens. I'm not coming in. He
That's it.
understands. He's Italian too, so he gets it.
That's it.
But yeah, I can't wait. I'm nervous, but I remember how fun it was chilling and watching the game with you guys. So I know if we suffer, we'll suffer together, but hopefully we don't.
That's it. So, guys, like, definitely give Biagio a follow. He seems to be a hot commodity right now on the podcasting
Yeah, I
world.
went from no podcast to 3 in 1 week. It's like what's going on?
It's crazy, but honestly, guys, it's good content, fun content, and we're not just saying that because he's a local friend of ours. You know, it's truly what it is. Calling the shots, and we're calling what it is, the facts. So give him a follow on all socials, guys, TikTok, Instagram, all that good stuff. For us, like we say every week, guys, at the Calcio guys, very simple. Follow us on all socials. For audio version of the podcast, on all your favorite podcasting platforms, you can find the Calcio guys. Remember, rate with 5 stars, leave a comment. And for all video content of the pod, subscribe on YouTube. Very, very simple. Subscribe, post notifications, like, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, we'll be back next week to talk a lot more Calcio.
Thanks for listening.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Bye.